Hello and welcome to the Limo Show once again. And here I'm going to be doing some reviews. I'm going to try and catch up because I'm so far behind them. So first up is Elemental, which was the latest Pixar film. Um, I thought it was a very charming film. I loved the relationship between Ember and Wade. Story surrounding that it wasn't the best. I thought the song to Loud, whatever. I thought it was a great song and it added a lot of to it. Sorry, I am very well written and directed, and I did really love it. I'm going to give it an A minus. And tell me what you thought about this, and let's get on to the next. Next up is Lasting Laugh, which stars Gerard Butler and Russell Hornsby. I thought they were both pretty good in it. It was quite tense, but Paul Brighton ruined it for me. I'm going to give it a D plus. Tell me what you thought about it, and let's go on to the next. Next up is Long Story Short, which stars Rafe Spall. I thought this was pretty entertaining. Had some heart, kind of poorly directed, if I'm being honest. But the two leads are solid. I'm gonna give it a B minus. So let's get on to the next. Next up is Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part One, which is directed by Chris McQuarrie, and stars obviously Tom Cruise, Rebecca Ferguson, Sam Pegg, Ving Rhames, um, Kelly Atwell, um, Vanessa Kirby, S.I. McMorris. He was Deathstroke in Titans. Um, so, so I thought the action scenes they were great. Stories intense and intriguing. I thought it was a little long, and I don't think they really did a lot. And there was no finality to it. Acting's pretty good and stunts are great, especially by Cruise. Um, I was a bit disappointed after the last few installments Fallout, the one Brad Pitt did, um, Rogue Nation. I forget the Brad Pitt one, but I'm going to give it a B plus. Tell me your thoughts about it and let's move on. Next up is the Comeback Trail, which is directed by George Collins, stars um, Rob De Niro, Morgan Freeman, Tommy Lee Jones. Um, I thought it was funny. I thought Jones was pretty cool in it. Screenplay was awful. But I did kind of like it, so I'm going to give it a C minus. Tell me your thoughts about it and let's move on. And next up is Deadlock, which stars Bruce Willis, who I thought was actually pretty good. I know this was John Tam, he's not been great, and we all know why. I thought he was actually solid in this. Action wasn't special. Um, Neither with the writing on the directing of it, but because of Bruce Willis, I did kind of felt it was better than what I was expecting, so I'm going to give it a D plus. Tell me your thoughts about it, and let's move on. Next up is the movie Rogue Hostage, which stars Bruce Willis, no, it doesn't. Oh, sorry, it doesn't. John Malkovich and Tyrese Gibson. Um, I thought Gibson was okay. Villains, they're not the worst villains you'd see in a movie. Actions are not good, if I'm being totally honest, but it wasn't completely horrendous. So I'm going to give it a D. And tell me your thoughts about this if you've seen it, and to the next movie. Next up is Paradise City, which stars John Travolta and Bruce Willis. Everything about this was awful, except some okay cinematography, which I didn't expect. But when you've got nothing else, the only thing saving it from an after it's getting any. And tell me what you thought about it, and let's move on. Next up is The Doorman, which stars Ruby Rose and Jean Reno. And this was poor. It has these things in it, such as PTSD and drama between the family, but it's so poorly written and directed. Action sucks. Um, I think the only thing saving it was it did try and add a little bit of heart into it. Fell flat on its face, but the effort was there. and Jean Reno's sold in it. I'm going to give this a D minus. And if you didn't tell me what you thought, and let's move on. Next up is the movie Vendetta, which stars Bruce Willis and Theo Rossi. I'm forgetting his name. He was in The Punisher. He was The Punisher. And he was in The Predator as well. I'm blanking on his name, and it's also Thomas Jane. And Mike Tyson. I thought it was okay. I thought Rossi was actually great in this. I thought he should have been in something better. Felt a very obviously put together, but the writing and directing. And Thomas Jane was okay as well, but not a good film. But the effort was there. In some parts, so I'm going to give it a D plus. And tell me what you thought about it. And let's move on. Next up is Oppenheimer, which I absolutely loved. It's directed by Christopher Nolan. Stars Cillian Murphy, Robert Downey Jr., Florence Pugh, Emily Blunt, Jack Quaid, Matt Damon. So many people in this. I thought it's obviously well written and directed by Christopher Nolan, who's an absolute genius when it comes to filmmaking. The acting's great by Cillian Murphy, Robert Downey Jr. Florence Pugh isn't in it that much, but when she is, she's really good. It's so intense in a lot of moments. Just an absolute masterclass by Nolan. I think this is probably his best movie, if I'm being totally honest. It's that good, and it's obviously getting A plus. And if you've seen it, tell me what you thought, and let's move on. Next up is the movie Talk to Me, which is a horror film, but it's got more drama than horror. But that's not to say it's not scary. It's just the drama props up the horror a little bit more. A lot of very good acting, especially by the main girl. I don't know if on top of my head, but this was very scary. So well written and directed. I'm struggling for. I've given it a B plus. But I don't know. I can't think of any negatives. Is the problem? Maybe I was expecting a bit of just horror. But the drama props that up and makes it more scary. So I don't know. Maybe I need to watch it again, but right now it's getting a B plus. So if you've seen it, tell me what you thought, and let's move on. Next up is the movie Maverick and the Forest Song. I thought the animation was absolutely stunning. Soundtrack's really good. I thought it was well written. I just thought it was a little too rushed, and that's the only thing really stopping me from giving this everything. So it's getting a B plus, and tell me what you thought, and let's move on. Next up is the Monsters movie, which was directed by Rob Zombie, and it's got his wife in it, Richard Brake, Jeff Daniel Phillips, is it? I thought it was quite funny, it was entertaining, just so weird, and it was poorly written and directed. But I wasn't bored, if I'm being honest, so I'm going to give it a D plus. So you thought about this, and let's move on. Next up is the movie Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, which is directed by Jeff Rowe. I know John Cena's one of the voices in it, but that's about it that I'm remembering. The animation was absolutely great. A little weird, but I did really like it. So funny, and it's got a lot of heart as well. Bit rushed, but I'm gonna give it a B. So tell me what you thought, and let's move on. So that's it for now. A lot of movies I've covered. Tell me what you thought about them. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell button, and until next time, take care.